Okay.
That's a line you don't cross.
Okay.
I'm protective of my family because that's what family does.
Right.
And I don't appreciate you suggesting that my daughter might be involved in illegalities just to get clicks or views. That's low, bro. I don't care what your Dusties want.
Dusty Section Broadcasting.
Jones Sounds, what's the vibe? We inside, baby. Like, share, subscribe. Dusty Section. What's going on, Dusties? It's about to get real dusty right now. And we have a network friend that's coming on. Decided to interrupt us. We're about to get some dinner going, you know. Some broiled salmon, some salad, you know. Some trusty, dusty aloe water. But somebody decided they just want to just cut in between our wellness journey and get on the line with us. But because we are supportive of their craft, and we could not resist because they giving us kudos about what we've been doing on the network, we had to have them come along and bring them up. We're about to bring up our friend of the Dusty Network right now. So let's go. What's going on with you, Unc?
Y'all really like keeping me on my toes, huh? Can a man get a straight question around here?
I'm saying what's going on, meaning how are you, Unc? I mean, that's how we ask. What's going on with you? How you been?
My bad, I guess I'm not up on the latest slang. But hey, I'm doing all right. Just keeping busy with the family feud and all. Can't complain too much.
Nice, that's what's up. I'm glad that you called in and everything, because, you know, you are a friend of the network and you know you want to talk to us about some things, you know, let's get to that. You know what I'm saying? This whole situation that's trending about Diddy, you know, you want to give your insight, you know, we want to hear you out. So yeah, Unc, we right here, we inside.
Right, yeah, this Diddy situation, well, man, it's a real mess. I mean, I ain't got all the details, but it's never good when you hear stuff like this. I'll just say that people need to be held accountable for their actions, no matter what. We just gotta wait and see how this all plays out.
Nice, so let's get to that. Now, Diddy got arrested. He's in New York City. I know he's locked up and behind bars because he got his bond revoked twice. So doesn't look like he's going to be spending any time with his family and everything at home in his mansion, chilling. When's the last time you been to a Diddy party, Unc?
Diddy parties, let me tell you, back in the day, those were something else, man. They were loud, they were wild. You never knew what to expect. But, you know, it's been a while since I've been to one of those. It's been years, man. Life just moves on and things change, but those were some good times for sure.
Nice, so you have been to a Diddy party before and you loved it. So what about the after hour parties, you know, the parties that, you know, took place after the main white parties and things like that? Have you ever been to one of those?
Yeah, man, those after-hour parties, those were the ones that really got wild. They were more private, you know, and they went well into the night. Things got real crazy once the main party was over. The crowd was different, too, more exclusive. I've been to a few of those. They were something else.
All right, okay, so you've been to one of those wilder parties where people, you know, didn't go home for days and everything like that. So, you know, tell me more about it, Unc. I mean, have you bumped into some people that you knew and you had and experienced anything weird or anything outlandish?
Man, where do I even start? Those parties were like a whole different world. I've run into all sorts, man. Celebrities, models, musicians, everyone and their mother was there. And yeah, you see some things you'd never forget. People doing crazy stuff, you know. It was one of those places where anything could happen, and usually did.
Especially those things that was happening at those freak-off parties, you know. You know, a lot of people say allegedly that there was some criminal activity that was taking place at what you call freak-offs, and Diddy pretty much was the one who initiated and had a select group of people come into those particular parties. Were you one of those invitees?
You know, I've heard whispers about those things, but I can't say firsthand what happened there. I know those parties were wild, and things could get out of hand, but I can't speak directly to criminal activity. As for being invited to those parties, yes, I was part of the scene, and I was invited to some of them. But I can't say if I was in no select group you're talking about.
Okay.
That's all I've got to say about that.
So you was in one of the freak offs, where people was doing freaky shit and, doing real kinky, debauchery and just sexually deviant type of behavior. I mean, you pretty much told us that, you were invited, but I mean, did you actually go and fearful that you might have gotten taped doing some stuff you ain't got no business doing?
I don't know where you're trying to go with this, but let me be clear. I've been to some wild parties back in the day, I won't deny that.
Okay.
But I wasn't involved in any illegal or inappropriate behavior.
Okay.
I have higher standards than that. I value my reputation and my name.
Okay.
I would never do anything that would compromise that. And no, I wasn't taped doing any debauchery or whatever you're implying. Can we move on from this?
Okay, you want to move on? Okay, cool. But before I move on, if you wasn't involved in doing that stuff, then, maybe your daughter, Lori, might have been involved in that because, before she was dating Diddy and one of Diddy's sons, so you think she might have been involved and she could be implicated on some of those things, these freak-off parties?
First, let's get one thing straight. My daughter is a grown woman, and her business is her business. Second, I don't appreciate you trying to drag her into this mess. She's smart, she's tough, and she makes her own choices.
Okay.
She also has more sense than to get involved in anything illegal or inappropriate.
Okay.
So please, leave her out of this and stick to the facts. Got it?
Okay, cool. And you're very protective and very sharp about your family, and I'm not trying to drag them into it, but let's be real. You and your daughter are not above the public opinion because at the end of the day, if the people want to know, my Dusties are going to be informed about it. So we just wanted to get your take on it without you being super defensive about your family. Do you got it?
I understand that people are interested in what's going on, but my family is off limits, man.
Okay.
That's a line you don't cross.
Okay.
I'm protective of my family
All right.
because that's what family does.
All right.
And I don't appreciate you suggesting that my daughter might be involved in illegalities just to get clicks or views. That's low, bro. I don't care what your Dusties want. We're done talking about my family on this. Understand?
Cool, all right, bet. So you know what? We're going to move off your daughter and we're going to move back on to you. How many people do you think is on that freak-off tape that Diddy got?
Look, man, I already told you I wasn't involved in any inappropriate stuff. But let's just say, hypothetically, I did know about this freak-off stuff. I mean, Diddy was known for having these wild parties, so probably a lot of people. It could be anyone, man. Celebrities, influencers, models, you name it.
Okay.
But I don't have a list or anything. We can't just go clocking people up without solid evidence.
I knew you was gonna do that, okay? You and Kevin Hart are the worst when it comes to gatekeeping because let's be real, you both have known to be one of the biggest gatekeepers in Hollywood when it comes to stuff. Y'all do shit that y'all ain't got no business doing under the guise that we gonna have to keep it low for the sake of not trying to rattle up our endorsements and all of our, commercial clients and stuff. So I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to drop names, but you know who was on those tapes.
You're talking nonsense, man. I'm not gatekeeping anything. I've just got standards, that's all.
Standards.
And as for Kevin, I can't speak on him. But as for me, I'm not dropping names without proof. End of story. Can we get off the topic of freak-offs and focus on something else?
I really don't want to, but I'm going to because at the end of the day, you're playing it safe. So let me ask you a question. How long do you think Diddy is going to get put away for?
It's hard to say, man. He's got a lot of money, and he's got good lawyers. That can buy a lot of leniency. But if he's found guilty, he's definitely looking at some serious time behind bars.
A lot of people saying that he's not even going to see the light of day, Unc. We're talking about a very long time, maybe even for the rest of his life. Now, how long do you think he's going to get put away? How many years are we talking?
Yeah, some people are saying he's looking at decades in prison, and they point to the evidence against him. It's a lot. He's got multiple accusers, witnesses, maybe some of that footage you're talking about. If he gets found guilty, he's looking at life-changing time. Decades, man, decades.
People are not going to look at baby oil the same anymore because of this.
Yeah, man, baby oil is going to be forever associated with this. And as for his lawyer, they can only do so much if he's being charged with serious stuff. But man, you got to feel a little bad for him. He went from being a billionaire mogul to a guy sitting behind bars. It's rough.
Yeah, it's very rough. So do you think this just is an attack on a black man's empire because of the fact that, he's reached a certain type of status and they want to tear him down, or he just gets what he gets? Because, at the end of the day, we saw the Cassie footage. We heard about the Cassie settlement, Is he this monster that people have talked about for years and has been up to, the diabolical ways to the point where he is the devil and now he has to pay the piper?
No, man, this isn't about tearing down a black man's empire because of his status. People of all colors get in trouble with the law and pay for their crimes. This is about holding people accountable for their actions. What he did to Cassie and others was wrong, and it's not something to be taken lightly. And if these accusations are true, he deserves whatever justice he gets, regardless of his status. Plain and simple.
Okay, Unc, that's what's up. I'm not mad at that. That was a good response. You know what I'm saying? What do you give advice to a person who hasn't been to jail that many times and he's going through it and he's trying to stay positive as much as he can? The outcome looks very dark and grim, as we agree. What do you say to a person like him that's in his position?
First off, I'd say stay strong. Prison is a tough place, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But the key is to keep your head up and stay positive. Focus on getting through each day, and don't let the walls close in on you. Find something to put your energy into, whether it's reading, working out, or just keeping your mind occupied with positive thoughts. And don't forget that you have people who care about you and are pulling for you on the outside, too.
I appreciate that. Motivational, you definitely are. This is why I like you, because, you're very motivational in many ways. You talk that shit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they see the good in you. And other people, they see you as this cornbread sucking, meatloaf chucking motherfucker from the South that, pretty much is a coon and a sellout. What do you say to people who think you are that?
I say people are gonna think what they wanna think, brother.
Okay.
I'm not gonna waste my time trying to change their minds.
Okay.
If they see me as a cornbread sucking meatloaf chucker from the South, that's their problem, not mine. I know who I am, and I'm not gonna let anyone's opinions define me.
That's what's up. That's the good approach. Who gives a fuck what people think? You don't fuck them. If they don't fuck with you, fuck them. But I feel as though that for years, a lot of people have said things about you that haven't been really flattering. Like Cat Williams earlier this year when he went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, pretty much said you was a liar and you made up your whole story based off of him as far as you being homeless and your climb to fame and stardom. Is that true?
Man, that's such nonsense. I've told my story so many times. I grew up homeless in Fort Heights. It's a fact. I worked hard, did stand up where I could, and eventually got my break with a gig on the original Kings of Comedy. That's my story. No lies, just hard work and hustle. I can't control how some people want to interpret it, but I know the truth.
Okay, that's what's up. Considering the fact that the truth is that you were, yes, one of the original Kings of Comedy. You were with Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, and Bernie Mac, all legends. Bernie Mac, who is no longer with us. A lot of people speculated, and the rumor was that you were jealous of him because people said that you weren't as funny as him, and you wouldn't dare go behind him when it came to a comedy set. He wanted to do other things, and you wanted to do things as well. And a lot of people say that you were jealous of him and you stole from Mark Curry his whole blueprint as far as the Hanging with Mr. Cooper series and your Steve Harvey series are very, very similar. What do you say to people that say that you're a hater and you a copycat?
Man, these accusations are getting out of hand. First, let me set the record straight. I have nothing but respect for Bernie Mac. He was a comedy legend, and I was honored to share the stage with him. I wasn't jealous of his success. I was inspired by it.
Okay.
And as for Mark Curry, that's just plain ridiculous. My sitcom was my own thing. It had its own style and characters. Just because we were both black and had sitcoms doesn't mean I stole his idea. These accusations are just people trying to stir up drama and sow division.
Okay, got you. So you say none of it is true. You're two different people with two different paths, and you had similar things going on. There was no hating and no copy.
That's right. There's no truth to those accusations.
Gotcha.
Comedy and entertainment are business.
Gotcha.
And everyone's trying to find their own lane and make their mark. I respect the hell out of Bernie Mac and Mark Curry.
Okay.
They're both talented in their own right.
Gotcha.
As for me, I've always followed my heart and stayed true to myself.
Nice.
Haters gonna hate, man, but I just keep moving forward and doing my thing.
I like it, Unc. I like it. Speaking of, people doing similar things, you and DL Hughley are pretty much on similar paths. The radio, again, y'all both are on the original Kings of Comedy together and stuff, sitcoms, series, movies, things like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are comparing y'all two as well. And people on the low is saying you secretly can't stand him. Is that true?
Man, DL, now we go way back. Our careers have taken similar paths, sure, but that don't mean we ain't friends. We've been through a lot together, from starting out in stand-up to the Kings of Comedy tour and beyond. We've had our moments, just like any long-lasting friendship, but to say I can't stand him, that's just straight up false. When you've been through what we have together, you build a bond that ain't easily broken. So all this talk about us secretly hating each other, it's all just noise, man.
Okay, fair enough. That's what's up, Unc. Okay, I'm glad you cleared it all the way up. You know what I'm saying? This is why we here. This is what the Dusties came for. And don't ever again talk about you don't care about my Dusties. I want to be clear on that because my Dusties matter. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get you. I may joke around about the Dusties sometime, but deep down I care about my fans, my audience, my community. I understand the power and influence I have, and I don't take that lightly. Just because I crack some jokes about the little people, sometimes it doesn't mean I don't care. So my apologies if it came off wrong. The Dusties are important to me, man.
Good, because they're important to me. They all I got on this YouTube platform. All right, so last question.
I respect that, man. You built something special with your YouTube channel.
Right.
Those Dusties are your community, and they believe in you.
Right.
All right, shoot. What's the final question, my man?
All right.
And I believe in you too, little brother. You're bringing positivity, entertainment, and value to people's lives. So don't ever doubt yourself or underestimate the impact you're having. That's real talk. Hit me with it.
All right, I appreciate that, Unc. Okay, so the final question of the evening. What are you having for dinner?
Well, if I'm being honest, some good old Southern comfort food tonight. Maybe a big juicy steak, creamy mashed potatoes, and some collard greens on the side. How about you?
Word, that's what's up, Unc. See, I need to pull up to your spot because I told my Dusties that we trying to do the wellness path, broiled salmon and, a little salad and shit like that. But nigga, I'm trying to fucking pull up to your spot. You know what I'm saying? I really want some fucking fried catfish and some fucking collard greens, mac and cheese, some candy yam, sweet potato pie, some Kool-Aid. That shit'll take your teeth out and give you the beaties. That's the shit I'm on, yo.
Man, you got an appetite. I feel you on the well-balanced diet, but sometimes you got to treat yourself, right?
Word.
Nothing beats a good Southern meal.
Word.
Collard greens, mac and cheese, fried catfish, those are some true comfort foods.
Yeah.
And sweet potato pie, that's the stuff.
Word.
I tell you what, why don't you come on over tonight? We'll indulge a bit and have ourselves a damn good time.
Unc, I'm all in. And with that being said, I want to say thank you for being a friend of the network, coming up on this platform, talking your shit. I want you to say, get more content like this here at Dusty Section Broadcasting.
You got it, my man. Get more content like this right here at Dusty Section Broadcasting. This is the kind of real talk and entertainment we need more of right here on this network.
My man. All right, Unc. Well, I appreciate you stepping up, and I appreciate you pulling up and checking in, and we gonna get with you another time. Salute.
Absolutely, my brother. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Let's do this again soon. Take care, stay blessed. Peace.
You heard it here, folks. All right, Unc. He tried to get us together a little bit, what I mean? We had to give a little pushback, but, we was able to get to the stuff that we wanted to talk about. So, I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like Unc said, if you want more content like this, get more content like this here at Dusty Section Broadcasting. I'm Jones Sounds. Salute to you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you a little bit later.